Hi, kings and queens. Welcome to the first episode of Spillin' Honey, the podcast that encourages you to spill it, honey. On today's episode, we are going to talk about insecurities, and just being completely honest, because this is raw and unfiltered. This episode is like totally unscripted. We are kind of just going off the grid and just going for it with this one. Cause I knew that this, was an episode that I really wanted to make sure that I got into. And I just wanted to do it first because, first of all, with me deciding to start this podcast, I just really wanted to be super open and super honest about everything, pretty much anything in my life, pretty much any like current events or any kind of topics. I just wanted to give my 100% honest feedback on it. So I felt like, just talking about insecurities and just jumping out the gate with such a huge topic would definitely, be something that would just kind of launch me into, just being open and honest. Cause, insecurity is just something that nobody wants to talk about. And, that's just the whole premise of this podcast. It's just to talk about things that most people, want to hide behind, because regardless, everybody has insecurities. Hence why, one of my favorite lines, and I contemplated with, naming the episode, this is, we all self-conscious. I'm just the first to admit it. And I know this is probably not the best time for a Kanye reference. Cause, a lot of people, Kanye is enemy number one, but those words are so real, and I just felt like it would be, super calculated and, and super non-traditional or whatever other words you want to use there to just come out the gate and just talk about, being self-conscious and being the first to admit it and doing it on the first official episode of Spillin' Honey. So I just want to know, cause of course we going off the grid with this episode. There's no structure. Look, we tried to brainstorm prior to this, but we were just like, you know what? We just going in. So I just want to know, is there anything that you want to add, or is there anything that you want to speak on, or do you want me to, how we going to do it?
Out of 100% of insecurities. I'm a
right. You and me both. You and me both. You and me both. So I guess I'll just kind of dive right in and just say, do you think that insecurity stems from comparison?
I want to say maybe with some people, but just solely speaking on myself, my insecurities come from how I view myself. And it may be from standards that were set by other people that were like programmed in my brain. But my insecurities are always completely how I feel. So somebody can walk up to me and say, "You look nice today," for example. I never, and I know I'm jumping right in, we're not on the grid, but I've never felt attractive a day in my life. So when somebody walks up and say that stuff to me, it's like, yeah, they said that, but I still don't feel like that. And it's nothing they could do. It's nothing somebody else could do to make me feel that way.
Yeah, I totally understand you on that one because, truthfully, me, I feel, the same way. And sometimes, if people give me a compliment, I touched on this on the intro episode. When people give me compliments, I don't even know how to receive it. Like, I get like chills and I get this uncomfortable like tightness in my chest. I don't know how to, I just don't know how to receive it. For me, I guess I would say, just to answer my own question, I feel like to a degree, insecurity can stem from comparison. Because even with the standards that are set forth, it's always somebody in the world that is going to basically like, they're going to align with whatever those worldly standards are, and they're going to align with those standards to a T. And then there's going to be you or me, for that matter, that, you know, we may go off the grid with those standards, and then we may feel like, oh my God, you know, I'm not like everybody else, so I'm no good. When in reality, you know, to me, I feel like that's not really what it means. I just feel like, you know, we kind of put those pressures on ourselves. And I just feel like for me, a lot of my insecurities did stem from comparison, just being, you know, open and honest about my own personal insecurities. I think that, one of my insecurities, or one of my one of the biggest, I should say, insecurities instead, of my life would have to be, like, it goes along the realm of like colorism and complexion issues. That was one of my larger things, especially being as though I come from, oh yeah. Especially being is, yeah, and everybody tell me that. I'm talking about even from my makeup artist.
You know, every time I see you, know, I tell my friends about you. I said, I think Brittany was putting on lotion when she was first born. Because your skin is so.
Oh my God. It's
skin, like, it looks like you were born by water, or somebody like pulled you out of a lake or something. You have no marks. Your skin is like so pure. It is like, whatever you doing, whatever you eating, if you going out there eating grass, you need to let me know now. You so
silly. Oh, you so sweet.
You have no so marks sweet. Or anything.
Yeah, and to me, it's not I think it's deeper than the marks and blemishes. I think it is just really, being transparent. It's the melanin. It really is. It's the melanin. It's the dark skin, you know, and especially it's not to say that I hate my dark skin, because I know it's going to be, you know, somebody that listens to this and they're like, oh, you know, you hate your blackness. But instead, it's just being as though, for me, that I was pretty much born into a lighter skinned immediate family. Like, think about it. You know, dad's lighter, you know, my mom is a higher complexion, you know, pretty much all of y'all are higher complexion. So it's like, for me, I just felt like the oddball out because of my complexion. And then it was like, people put so much emphasis on my complexion to the point where I think, once again, that kind of zeroes in to the comparison thing, because people put so much emphasis on it that I start comparing myself to like a light-skinned girl, and I would say, okay, well, maybe I am ugly because I'm not light-skinned. And, you know, like, for example, from when I was a baby, when I was first born, I remember my mom said that, you know, it was, you know, rumors going around that, you know, I wasn't my dad's child because I was dark, or even, you know, even something as simple as, you know, sometimes people don't realize the things that they say and how they can affect your, you know, your mental well-being. Because even something as simple as like, oh, you look just like your dad, but darker. Or, oh, you look just like your mom, but a brown version. You're putting emphasis on my skin color, and it's something I already struggle with. So even though that's small to you, it's a giant to me, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why I always tell people, you know, it doesn't matter how small something may seem to you. That thing that's small to you could be a giant to somebody else. So, you know, for me, that was just something I definitely like struggle with and still struggle a little bit. Not as much anymore. I just have kind of gotten to the point where I've gotten
people as it's your blessing, it's your advantage. Like your skin is flawless. Most people of lighter complexions that I know have marks like scratches, age spots, liver spots, dark spots, green spots, blue spots, and yellow spots. And you got flawless skin. Like
but you know,
like sparkling.
I wasn't, you know, and you, now that you put it like that, I mean, that is a good way to look at it. And maybe that is a way to, you know, overcome, you know, to work towards overcoming insecurity. But for me, I didn't care anything about how perfect my skin was. I think to me, I put so much pride in my skin and taking care of my skin because I really did not like it. So I was just trying to do things to make me like it, because it's not like I can change it. That's why, you know, another reason why I never really understood why, and I know this is totally off the grid, but of course this whole episode is just off the grid. It just is what it is. But that's another reason why I never really understood why, you know, people of other races, you know, hated, you know, us black people so much, because it's like, our skin, you know, our melanin, we can't control that. We born with that. I can't control, you know, that my melanin is what it is. But, you know, but I think that, you know, ties into, like I said, my insecurity, because it's something I can't change. And I'm gonna be honest with you, just being completely transparent is something that I have tried to change. I remember I used to beg my mama, like when we went to like Walmart or we went to the hair store or whatever, and I would see like the Ambi cream and I would beg my mama, please buy me this, you know, please buy me this. And my mom would be like, are you going to use that stuff? And I'm like, yes, I promise I'm going to use it. But I always say, I feel like it was anytime I bought that stuff and I put it on my skin, it would irritate my skin so much and it would like burn. I mean, literally like it would burn my face to the point where I felt like my face was literally on fire. And I always tell people, I felt like that was just God's punishment, like telling me like, look at you trying to change exactly who I made you. And as a result, I'm gonna punish you for that, you know? But in my mind, I was just thinking, you know, get this Ambi cream so I can be lighter, you know, because in my mind, I just felt like majority of the people that I felt were the most beautiful, and I'm not saying all, but majority of the people that I felt like were the most beautiful to me, in my head or in my clouded mind, were people of lighter complexions. Now that doesn't mean that I didn't think like my immediate family, like my grandmother, my aunties, you know, I feel like our relatives are beautiful. I feel like our bloodline is beautiful. But I just never felt like I was as beautiful as them as a dark-skinned woman. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like your parents played a part in how you view your skin color, being completely transparent and authentic?
Yes, I do. Just being real. Yeah. Because I said something to my mom one time, and I know, of course, I can't change my father's preference in the type of women that he likes, but I've always felt like, okay, I noticed that he prefers lighter women, and I feel like, yeah, light or other or whatever. And I just felt like, I never seen an example of, even him being with, a woman that even remotely looked like me, even after, him and my mom separated. I never seen an example of that. So I thought in my mind that the only reason why he felt like a woman of my complexion was beautiful was because of me, or because of grandma, or because of, his sisters and things, not because he felt like they were actually beautiful. Now, I mean, of course, I can't speak for him. So, I can't speak for him. So I don't know if that's exactly what he felt. It could just be a matter of, this is my preference, and my mom said that to me one time, because I was like, I don't feel like my dad even likes darker skinned women. And my mom was like, well, that's just his preference. And, I don't know. I mean, to me, I feel like it's kind of a thin line between your preference and like just... Right. It's you know what I'm getting at. It's a thin line between preference and just hatred, I guess, or preference and just I don't want to say ill intent, because I don't think that's the right word.
Preference and being blind to the beauty of other people because they don't fall within those guidelines. Right.
That's better. Yeah. That's better. I like that better.
Because I understand where you're coming from. I really like this conversation. I'm glad that we're keeping it like very transparent and very open.
Yeah, super transparent.
Find beauty in darker men.
She has. I have seen, for her, she prefers, I get, in my opinion, this is my analysis now. She gonna have to speak for herself, but, in my opinion, to me, I feel like both parents prefer, lighter partners. However, I have, prior to, because, of course, just being transparent, my parents have been married and divorced from each other multiple times. So, with their first breakup, one of my mom's like boyfriends, like her serious like boyfriend during that time that they broke up, he was darker skinned. So I saw her being with, I have saw examples of her being with a darker skinned man, but I don't really feel like that was necessarily her preference. I just feel like because he was just a very, he was a nice looking man. Like he really was. He was a nice looking, brown skinned man. He had a very, very nice complexion. I seen him not too long ago, and he's still nice complexion, still a very, nice looking guy.
Can I ask you, since again, we're being very authentic and open here, what are you attracted to? Like, to keep it real, like, what are you attracted to lighter men only, or do you find beauty in darker men? Seriously, don't just tell me, yeah, they're beautiful. Are you attracted?
Okay, so being completely transparent, my taste has kind of shifted. It has went from, like I said, I hated my melanin, so back in the day, if you would ask me this question, probably like over 10, 15 years ago, I'd have been like, oh yeah, red all the way. Red man, if he ain't light, he ain't right, but now, like seriously, but now I gotta be honest, this is the podcast for it. But now I don't know what it is. I just have more of an appreciation for darker skinned men, or just, I really don't have, honestly, I've kind of shifted into, I really don't have very much of a preference anymore. Now, I mean, of course, I still look at a light skinned man and be like, oh, he look good, but I don't really have much of a preference anymore. I really don't. I don't have much of a preference anymore.
And sorry to interrupt you there. Do you feel like in a way, because of how you felt about darker people at a time, you were deflecting, and that's why you feel so strongly about your appearance too, because you were kind of like feeling some way about that, and then you felt the way, that internalized way as well.
What you mean? Break that down for me, because I'm not following. Like, I'm following, but I'm not following.
So about 5 minutes ago, you said, now I know that I don't feel like my dad found beauty in darker people, right? And then you admitted that you felt the same way. So it was before. You said you've learned, you've changed, you're at a different place in life. Do you feel like your analysis of him was also you deflecting because of how you felt about yourself?
Probably, yeah. Just being honest. But for me, I feel like another reason why I struggle with not necessarily hating darker skinned people. I don't want people to get it confused and to think that I hated darker skinned people. I hated me. Like, me. Like I said, I would look at, people like, for example, I would look at people like my Auntie Terry, and I would be like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. I wish I looked like her, and it's crazy because people tell me all the time I look like her, but I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I don't look like her. To me, she is like in a class of her own. Or like, I would look at people like my grandma, and I would be like, she's so beautiful to me. And everybody, like, even grandma says to me all the time, like, out of all my grandkids, I promise you, I wish I had pictures of me when I was younger, because you look so much like I did. But to me, I didn't feel like I looked like her. I don't know. So it was my own insecurity of myself. It wasn't hatred towards all darker skinned people. But I think it was just amplified for me too.
Those things. Insecurities will amplify those thoughts and make them even bigger. I can only imagine what you were going through on the inside.
Yeah. Right. And then for me, like I said, it's not all dark skinned people. It was a war within myself. And then I think, to me, I also felt like another reason why I struggled is because I just had a hard time, even, from a young girl, just when I would encounter even sometimes like darker skinned young men that were like around me coming up in school. They would even make me feel bad about being a black girl. They would make me feel bad about being dark skinned, or they would, privy the lighter skinned girls. So then that was just more, you get it, you feel it at home, you feel it at school. And then it's like, okay, where do I escape this? And so then your first, resort is to, be like, okay, well, let me try and go get this Ambi cream, or let me try and go get this lightener, or let me try and go get this whatever chemical peel, or let me try and go do whatever just so that I can, be lighter. And I remember one time I'm not going to curse. You can't. You can, but you can't. No judgment. Go ahead.
I think, and I'm giving you advice that I tell myself. I think it's time, especially at 30, that you walk to the mirror and you have time with just Brittany to say, you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are loved, you are valid. You have to tell yourself that, because if you don't, those thoughts will haunt you forever. Of how you feel like other people feel. It's because you're not feeling it within yourself.
Right.
Because when you build yourself up to feel a certain way, nobody can tell you nothing. You're going to be like, I don't care what y'all think. I'm black and beautiful.
Right. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm slowly but surely making strides every day, you know, and I think that's why, to me, whether I'm at work, in my professional setting or whatever, I have so many people come to me, or they'll message me on the side and be like, oh my God, like, you are just, man, you uplift us so much, man, you get me through this day so much, or, you know, man, just your positivity. And it's like, I have to spew that out, because I'm spewing it out so it can bounce back like a boomerang. I want it to come back to me. So I just have to put that stuff out. I have to put it out in the atmosphere just so that it can, you know, come back to me in some way, shape, or form. And I do feel like it's working, because I do feel like what you put out, you know, is 9 times out of 10 what you get back. You know, I don't want to say it's always what you get back, because, you know, it's always somebody that's like, well, I put out good in the atmosphere and, you know, excuse my French, I got shitted on. So, you know, it is what it is, you know, but I mean, I don't know. I try to put out positivity, and I do try to, you know, uplift myself, and I am, you know, and I think that's another reason why I pour myself so much into, you know, being an advocate for, you know, certain things like Black Lives Matter, or, you know, different things like that, because I am proud of my blackness and I do appreciate my blackness, but it's still a long road for me, and it's still a journey for me. You know, like I said, I don't want, you know, people of the darker skin community coming at me talking about, oh, you hate us. No, I don't hate y'all. This ain't got nothing to do with y'all. This is self-hate. This is exactly why I started this episode with this, because I wanted people to understand that literally, once again, I go back to the line I use. We all self-conscious. I'm just the first to admit it. I am openly admitting that these are my feelings about me. And these are things that I am constantly working through every day. There is nothing, you know, that I am projecting on you.
Keeping it real on here, being authentic. You don't have to apologize for you being yourself. You are not saying that about other people. You're saying, this is what I deal with, and I'm trying to work through this for myself as a dark-skinned person.
Right. And that's exactly why I wanted to do this podcast, because I just wanted to be honest, and I just wanted to be a space for me to be able to get it out. Because once I do this episode and I get it out, it's just like bricks falling off my back, you know, just like stuff that I held on to for so long. I just want to get this stuff off of my head, you know. And I know, you know, a million people have podcasts, but this is just my way. This is like my diary, you know? So, yeah.
I love that. I never knew that about you. That's
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a big, that was a big,
I've always admired your skin. If you could hear how many people, I can call my best friend right now, and he gonna be like, oh, Brittany got the best skin. Because your skin is so, it's not even normal people flawless. It's like TV flawless, and you don't have on no makeup. I used to be like, is she eating
everybody tell me. Yeah, and I did for a little bit. I was on the sea moss kick for a little bit, but I, you know, just being 100% transparent, the sea moss that I was taking, it was like breaking me out in hives, you know, and it was good sea moss, don't get me wrong. But sometimes, as with anything, you can take too much of it and it can affect your body, you know, in certain ways. I feel like certain people, you have to kind of like lower your dosages of, you know, certain stuff. And that goes with anything. Lower your dosages of the negativity, lower your dosages of the sea moss, lower your dosages of the drama, you know, sometimes you just have to like lower the dosages of things, you know. And, so I,
too.
What,
just real quick before we continue. In that same breath of you being around people that have a preference to lighter skin, it's a whole nother group of people that only prefer dark skin. Like literally. My mom being one. Right. Like my mom,
right?
Like black, crispy, burnt, like a freaking skillet thing. It's like people have preferences. Like I get what your mom was saying, but it's don't let that define what beauty is to you. Because there's some people can walk in the room and say, "You're the only beautiful person sitting in here," and that's just keeping it real.
And I think that's what it was. I think I just, I just let everything just all jumble together. I don't even necessarily know if it was just their preferences. It was just the fact, just like I said, pretty much my entire just immediate family. And I mean, just like my parents, my brothers, everybody's lighter. So like, I'm the only darky in my family. So it was like that. And I'm like, you more kind of like caramel-esque. You're not really like, you not, well, you got a little color over the years, but even when we were younger, you weren't dark as me at all. Nah, I would give it to you. You probably got a little darker over the years and, dad too. But I mean, regardless, I was still hanging on. I was still the brown skin champ for a minute, So for me, it was just tough. And like I said, just in combination with, just being the only dark skinned person in my family at the time, just hearing it at school, like guys telling me I wasn't good enough because I wasn't light skinned. And then like just seeing it, you hear it, and then, just seeing it on TV.
Told you something like that.
Yes. No. Yes, I have heard. Yes, I have heard that. I have heard it. It might not have been in that way, but that's what they meant. Huh?
You said not in that way. So did you turn it to that?
No. Okay. So here's the thing. They may have said it might not have been like, it might not have been like, I don't like you, cause I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. Cause okay, so the first time I ever heard, I had a crush on this guy, years ago, when we were in school. I think I might have been in like maybe third grade or so. And I had a crush on this guy, and literally he was just like, I only like these type of girls, or I only like light skinned girls, or I can't talk to you because I only like XYZ type of girl. So that is the type of stuff I heard.
Let's tip that honey cup over for a minute. Now, that was the third grade. A mind is not fully developed at that point. You would have to give me a real life example from your 30-year-old point of view, and then I would say, okay. But you can't. You just brought up, to go back as third grade, I mean, you don't truly have anything to back up those negative thoughts. Right.
But see, here's the well, not really, because I mean, you can harbor negative thoughts from when you was 5. I mean, realistically, negative thoughts don't go away. I don't care, what it is, and it don't stop there. I just use that as an example, as one of the earliest examples that I particularly remember from when I was a kid that kind of spiraled me into feeling the way I felt. That don't mean that was the only example. That was just one. That was just one. I got others. Huh?
I'm sorry that you had to go through any of that.
Oh, no. I mean, I guess it's just... And I couldn't catch that last part. You kind of faded out what you said.
No, I was like, I truly understand because I deal with my own insecurities, and it just does sometimes seem like I'm just never going to make it out of them. So I know how you can just get stuck in that bottomless hole and you're like, I don't see no type of light and no ceiling to this. It's just what I'm supposed to do. Say, I just accept this. That's why I told you about looking in the mirror and start telling yourself you love yourself, because it's something that I struggle with now. And I'm still going through that. Like, I have to wake up now and say, you know what? You're not a monster. You can go outside. And I know that sounds crazy for me to say on here, but I truly have to do things like that. I feel uncomfortable when people walk up to me. I'm like, are you picking on me? And it's just, it's that mental thing that you go through. You beat yourself down so bad, it seems like it's no recovery point no more. So anything anybody say, you like, whatever, because you truly don't feel that. Like, you truly don't.
Right, exactly.
And that's why I say I'm sorry, because I empathize with you. I truly understand. Right. And it's just a daily journey. And, you know, I'm here. You ever need to talk or text me or call me, I'm here. And you can keep it real with me, because I'm going to always keep it real with you.
Right. And I just want you to know that I'm here as well, because a lot of times you be cutting us off, but I just want, you know, I want you to know you ain't got to cut me off. Look, I gotta be honest. But you know, I'm doing it out of love, but seriously,
I got it. You know, on every episode I don't been on.
I'm here. Right, you only been on 2 episodes. Look, the third, you know, we're gonna do better on the third. We're gonna do better on the third.
I want to say this, since we are in an authentic and open place, I'm gonna be very honest with you on the times that I have disappeared. I clinically suffer from manic depression and social anxiety. I have, like, I know you would never guess this. Like, even when I told you the other day, my mom came into LA to visit me for 3 months, and you're like, oh, that sounds fun. That was not the true core of why she came. She came because I get so depressed I can barely move off my sofa. Like, I can't answer my phone. I can't do anything. I will sit and cry till my eyes are like almost bruised black because I'm so sad. So sometimes I just physically don't have the energy to answer the phone because I can barely have the will to live that day. And that's just me being transparent. It's something I'm working on. I am taking medication now to hopefully find a healing path. But that is something I've always wanted to tell you and your mama, like, about calling me. It's not that I would ever act funny with you, because I'm truly never doing anything. But I just get so out of myself and finding like any type of positivity till I can't move. My phone is on Do Not Disturb right now for that very reason. I know you weren't expecting me to be that open on here.
No, I want you to.
Very authentic space on, like, I've never act funny. Like, that's not my character to act funny with a person, especially my sister, who I love, and my stepmom, who I love. It's just, I don't have me together most of the time. Like, I go to work and I'll come back and just, like, I don't have an animal. I don't have anything. I'm single. I don't have no friends.
Neither do I.
I have cartoons.
Here's the thing. I don't mean to cut you off, but I gotta speak to that, because you act like I have all that stuff. Look, I don't got nobody either. I don't got a lot of friends like that either. A lot of wet friends. Two. Half of them people, literally being transparent, if you speaking on like my party and stuff, realistically, half of them people, that was my mom's friends. And don't get me wrong, I love all my mom's friends. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much have adopted me as like their extra friend. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, those are my mom's friends. Like, if they had to pick her over me, they gonna pick her. They not gonna pick me. I'm just there because I'm always there, because my mama is like, if she can't come, I'm not going, you know. But realistically, those, you know, they're not my friends in that capacity. Do I love them? Have I?
You know, they're more like aunties.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they are. They like friends. They my aunties. They, you know, they just, you know, they hold me down. They hold my mama down. They hold me down. But realistically, like, talking about like my friends, talking about like genuine people that like know everything about me is, you know, my friend that we were talking about earlier, who, you know, whose birthday is today actually. And then, you know, my other, you know, my two friends, that's it. Yep. At the core.
Two friends too though. You know both of them.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's it at the core. We got the same thing. And that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not attacking you to hurt your feelings. I really just be playing. I just want you to know I'm playing. But seriously, what I'm trying to get you to understand is that in even your darkest times, those are the times when you need people, and you need to know that you have people. And I'm just trying to get you to understand that you have me at all times. I don't care how dark it gets for you, because trust me, what you fail to realize about me is that I suffer as well. Like, I'm talking about seriously, like, trust me, last time I went to the doctor, the lady, she gave me medication too. I just threw it away. Like, cause I threw it away because I'm being honest. I threw it in the trash because I don't, anybody that know me personally, I don't do pills. I don't even like to take aspirin if I don't have to. I'm not a drug person. So look, this is my disclaimer. If anything, look, I hate to say this, but I gotta be honest on this podcast. If anything ever happened to me and it is pill or drug or any kind of thing related, please know I did not do that.
Okay.
Seriously. Like, please know I did not do that. Cause yeah, I don't do, like, even my mom, she has to like force me to take it. She'd be like, girl, I be in like debilitating pain, like every single day, like debilitating pain where I cannot move, where I cannot function. And my mom is like, you need to take an aspirin or do something. And I'm like, I don't want to take the aspirin. I promise you, literally, my mom has literally went in the bathroom sometimes, got the aspirin and handed it to me. Cause she know I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go get it later. And then later turns into I don't never get it, you know. So trust me, I think for me, because I struggle a lot with my mental health, it's affecting my physical health, like to the point where like it hurts to get up. My back, I have like debilitating back pain like every day, debilitating neck pain every day, to the point where sometimes I can't even turn my neck. I can't stand up for a long period of time. I can't sit down for a long period of time. It's just like my body is always hurting. But I think it's because like all of the mental turmoil that I have had has just taken a physical toll on my body as well. And that is another reason why I wanted to do this, because I just want to get all that stuff out of my head so that I can just feel better on the inside and out, feel better in terms of my mindset, you know, feel better in terms of my physical health, all of that. But yeah, trust me, I'm there with you. And, you know, I've struggled too. I done crawled in and out of depression several times, and I do mean crawled, like, and I ain't talking about fast crawled. I'm talking about slow crawled. Like, I'm talking about like clothes, seriously, like clothes on the bed, cause I don't have the energy to fold them. I don't want to fold them. Clothes on the floor, cause I can't pick them up.
Outline for your depression that it was just clothes on the bed.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, clothes on the bed because I don't have the energy to pick them up. Clothes on the floor because I can't do it. Like literally just laying there because I can't get up. So, you know, I understand. I may not understand to, you know, the level of severity as you, but I do have my own struggles too. And that's all I'm trying to explain to you, is that you and I are a lot more alike than we are different. And I, you know, Yeah, we are a lot more alike than we are different. And I just feel like you and I could develop such a strong friendship on the outside of, even on the outside of this. I'm not even talking about this, just in general, just to know. And I keep saying this repeatedly, but I just want you to know that we are here. And that is why I'm always ragging on you about not answering your phone, because I want you to understand that if you're going through something, you can talk to me. I don't care if you sit on the phone and you just like, I need to vent, and you just sit on the phone and vent. Because
I would be prepared for something like that, but I'm telling you, it is not what you think it is. You're gonna be like, this is too much for me. You're gonna be like, you need to move back to Jacksonville. Because all my friends
look, you might need to come back for a little bit, not necessarily move back, because I'm super proud of you, and I was so happy when you made the decision to move, but not necessarily move back. You don't have to move back, but definitely come visit more, huh? What'd you say? Especially come visit me more. Right.
Strawberry crunch cakes.
Right, look, that's all he want me for, crunch cakes. Look, that's all he want me for, the crunch cakes.
Your mom make me a lasagna and you make the strawberry crunch cake, and I'll be good that day. And we can go
coming to Jacksonville and don't come see me. Look, he coming and don't come see me.
No, that's what we're gonna do. We're going
and
to
then
the
tell
beach.
me after he leave, huh? What'd you say? I'm like, y'all see how you do me so dirty, but it's okay. I still love you. Always have and always will.
Oh, stop off in the crib.
You so silly. Look, I know we
wrap this episode up.
I know, because we done ventured way off.
We don't got nothing to talk about to like 50 minutes later.
I told you, I knew I wanted to talk about this. We actually could probably add another segment, because we didn't even get to the rest of the questions I had on the paper. We'll have to we'll have to revisit this another time. Yes, we will. Most definitely.
This episode, I can't wait to listen to it myself.
I did too. I think it was very.
B was spilling honey everywhere. You had honey everywhere.
Right. the honey was spilling on this one, huh? Yeah, it was spilling. It was tripping. But
look, dude,
yeah,
it didn't work. I guess it ain't gonna work. Well, you can wrap it up with your final thoughts and stuff.
Alrighty, okay. So, look, I know once again, our episode was a little off the grid, but hey, life is like that. Life is, off the grid sometimes. So, I'll go ahead and close it out with my B subconscious thoughts. These will be, regular thoughts that I use, to wrap it up, at the end of our podcast. So our B subconscious thought for today is, let's be clear. You can't heal what you don't reveal. And that's word to Jay-Z. And my closing remarks are, remember to always be authentic, be sweet, be raw, and be unfiltered. And that's real spill. Peace.